What's up, peoples? Welcome to part one of this video. We're going to be restoring a 1986 Buick LeSabre. This thing's been cooking in the sun for at least 40 years. I don't think that thing's ever seen a garage. We're going to start today with priming and painting. I've already sanded it a while back, so probably not, well, we're probably not going to be sanding it because I already sanded it a while back. But we are going to start priming, sanding that down, put the first couple coats of paint, and we're also going to be adding racing stripes. Then we'll move on to the interior and fixing the exhaust up a little bit. Other than that, let's go ahead and get started. Now we got everything painted, except for the hood, because I already painted that a long time ago. Roof, I can't really, it's hard to see with all the crappy lighting, but we got everything, the first coat anyway. Used not even 3 cans. Dude, not even 3 cans. Alright, now we have the first coat of primer, doing the second one in this kind of brown, red, rustic color, because they didn't have any more of this color. Now I have primer on there, you can really kind of see where that dent was. But I did fix it pretty well, for how bad it was anyway. But yeah, let's go ahead and do the second round of primer, and then we'll go from there. We'll go to sanding. Well, I ran out of my third can of the red primer. I guess I used a lot more of this stuff than the other stuff. I mean, I also painted the hood with it, which probably took up most of it. So it looks like I'm gonna have to run back to the store and get another can. So far, we've got 2.5 cans of gray, 3 cans, okay, well, let's say 4 cans of each. That's 8 cans. All right, got another can of spray paint for this little bit and the roof. Then we should be good to sand and do all that good stuff and get ready for painting, getting that nice, clear, shiny new coat on there. I doubt it'll be shiny. I ran out of this one too. And this is what's left. But I'm almost thinking, just right here in one spot, because I gotta sand it down anyways, I'm just gonna paint red over the gray and the red and see if you can tell a difference. If not, I'll leave it. If so, I guess I'll have to run and get another can. Alright, looking pretty promising. I mean, it's not dried yet, but I don't really see a difference. It's hard to tell because it's on the roof, but it's the only place I can test it. So, but we'll see how it looks when it's dry. Anywho, while we're waiting for that up there to dry, we're gonna start sanding. It's actually, wow, this red primer is actually pretty smooth, but still got its roughness. Ooh, golly, especially right here. So we're gonna start sanding it down. We're gonna start with, I think 600 grit, because I don't wanna risk scratching it with 400. So we'll start with 600 grit and then work our way up all the way to 1500. Okay, so the way I'm doing this, let me kind of show you right quick. The way I'm doing this here, very budget friendly, of course. And I know this is not the right way to do it, but we're doing it fast, we're doing it cheap. I sprayed just a little bit of water over it because we don't want to mess up our tape where all of our trims are taped off. So, and then spray the 600 grit sandpaper. Got us a microfiber towel right here so we can dry it off and clean it off. Get rid of everything we sand off. And then I just use the 600 grit to kind of get rid of that roughness from the primer. I just go ahead and wipe it all off. And professionals might tell you that doesn't work, but it does work. It's not the right way to do it, but it works. And it just kind of, that's why I use microfiber towel, because it kind of catches all the sand, I don't know, what do you call it, all the stuff that comes off, all the stuff you're sanding off, it kind of catches it all. You can take a clean paper towel, go over it, there shouldn't be anything on it anymore. Made a mistake. It's my fault. I didn't sand this thing down before starting this because I had already sanded it a couple months ago. And I walked around it and everything looked good. I guess I didn't see all the clear coat coming off here. So now I've been sanding over it. It just went down to bare metal. So, but that's fine. What I'm gonna do, like I said, I still have half a can of the gray primer. And since it looks good up here, I don't see a color difference. I'm just gonna go over the spots with the gray primer and sand them down again. Alright, so what I actually ended up doing now is I switched to 400 grit. I wanted to try it because there were some pretty bad imperfections, as you can see. But look, I mean, you can't see it on video, you have to feel it, but they're all smoothed out now. I didn't use 400 because I was worried it would leave scratches, but it was actually still pretty smooth. They did a way better job at sanding everything down. I still think it's a good idea to start with 600 and then do your imperfections with 400. Maybe go over them with 600 again, or just go straight to 1000. Got some more imperfections here, so I'm just gonna put some more primer on these, put another coat of primer on that, and sand it one more time, and sand these down now that they're dry. I'm not gonna keep boring y'all with these time lapses. What I was trying to say is I'm not gonna bore y'all with all the time lapse of me barely doing any progress. I got everything done. Everything's nice and smooth. I did about 3 or 4 more coats. So, putting a coat, same thing. Putting another coat, same thing. Putting another coat, same thing. And it's pretty smooth. Still far from perfect, but if you look at most classic cars from close up, they don't look any better either. So, I'd say we can call this restored. We just gotta put the paint on there now. I went ahead and put a little canopy up so I don't have the sun shining right on it while I'm painting, because I don't think that's very good. I already sanded the whole car with 1000 grit and then 1500 grit, which I also spared y'all. It's the same as doing the 600 grit. Other than that, I think we are about ready to paint. So let's go ahead and do that. There were some droplets that came off, which is, of course, the problem when you're doing it with a spray can, a cheap one at that. That's no problem. I wiped it off with my finger so there's not a big old bump. We're just gonna sand it again. There's gonna be at least one more coat coating on here, so it's alright. We'll sand it with some 1500 grit to kind of smoothen it back out. But important, if that does happen, carefully wipe it off with your finger or whatever. Use a paper towel if you have one at hand. That way you don't end up having a big bump that you need to sand down. Alright, we got the first coat done. Still not dry enough for me to be comfortable to sand this stuff right here, so I'm waiting, but it's looking pretty dang good. I'm over here sanding out all these imperfections where it dripped. With some 1500 grit. Won't get it perfect, but it'll be good enough. Alright, we're all done with the second coat. Before we're gonna polish it though, I mean, it needs to set anyways for a couple hours. But we are also gonna add racing stripes, gold racing stripes on it. So in a couple hours I'm gonna come out here and we're gonna go ahead and get it prepped to put the racing stripes before we take all the tape and stuff back off. So alright peoples, that's the end of this video, part 1. If you guys want to see more, go ahead and like and subscribe. Next part's gonna be doing the racing stripes, probably starting on the interior, maybe even finishing, I don't know, depends on how much work we got. But yeah, go ahead and tune into the next video. Should be out in a couple of days, no more than a week. Like I said, go ahead, like and subscribe if you want to see more. I do have some more projects lined up. We got a 94 Nissan Sentra that's in rough shape. It runs, drives, but it does need some work. Probably needs some work on the motor. Definitely a lot of work on the body, inside and out. So, you guys want to see that? Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.